Hi everybody, this is Susie and welcome to a Vintage Design Studio. Today I wanted to share with you yet another Wild Orchid Crafts design team project, and this one is focusing around using what you have. And I really had bought this Baroque die from Holtz during the winter of 2010 when it had first come out, I believe. And I think I used it maybe once or twice to do some Christmas cards with. That's about it. And another design team member and I had the same agreement about buying dies and using them a couple of times and then just forgetting about what you have. And I thought it was really important to try and break out some of the things that are brand new that I have not used. And just to share with you in the background here, I have this paper that is from K&Co. It's very pretty. It's I believe it's in their Christmas line. It's probably about 2 years old, this paper, and I have 2 stacks of it, I think. And I found a piece of it in my stash that was actually used, and I had a big chunk of it left, and I thought that I would use this page. And so I put it on with my ATG gun on the back of a piece of corrugated cardboard, which comes in handy for things like this, and it went through my Big Shot machine nice and easy. And after I adhered that, I used a stamp that I had recently purchased, which this is my favorite saying of all times, and it says, "Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain." And I know a lot of us can take this stamp, these words, this sentence, and really know exactly what we're talking about. So I love this. I have a magnet like this from a really long time ago, and I've always just loved this saying. In fact, it's on my Facebook blog. Anyway, on my Facebook page, I'm on the information wall there. I just love it. So I decided to stamp that on a piece of white cardstock, just etch the edges with some tea dye by Ranger, and put some little bits of sparkles around there, some stickles. And I've also used, you'll notice there's a really pretty sparkle there, one of those rhinestones. There's 2 more scattered. Those are the Wild Orchid Craft rhinestones, which come 100 in a pack, 3mm, 4mm, and 5mm self-adhesive rhinestones. And I would say this color is like a deep cranberry, which you can probably use for any time during the year, which I just made this, but specifically geared, I would think probably anytime you need red, like Valentine's or Christmas or love related or something to this effect. These flowers are just beautiful, and I had these in my stash from the previous design team package, and I had put some of the stickles, and the color is Stardust, on some of the flowers that are absolutely beautiful. And just in case you wanted to know what that flower is right there, it's just a petal that I like to use as a filler that I've been doing for quite some time now by folding it in like that. You'll see that on a lot of my Wild Orchid Craft projects. I also have, trying to match off, I just love the way this beautiful rose here is two-toned with a red edges going into like an orange color and then falling right into a nice a bright yellow with a mustard yellow rose next to it. And some of these really beautiful flowers here, all of the names of these flowers will be in the drop-down box below, so that you can go to the Wild Orchid Crafts website and purchase them if you like. Also here are these really, really pretty tiny little roses in a very light gray color. My favorite calla lilies, just beautiful. I love these flowers. They are so romantic and sexy. A tiny little rose there, very pretty, and of course my beautiful white calla lilies. And up top here I punched a hole with my crocodile just to hang this, because I'm going to be giving that to my mom. I know she's going to love putting this on her refrigerator with a magnet. And just to share with you, that I used a piece of Wild Orchid Crafts seam binding, which is called OLOROSO. I love this color because it's kind of like a taupe color. It's not necessarily in the pink family, but more of like the beigey beige colored. It's very soft in its feel. It's a very lightweight, flimsy kind of ribbon that's very forgiving and very easy to work with, tying knots, bows, and even taking this and distressing it with water. I have a video like that. Just beautiful. If you haven't tried it yet, you should. WildOrchidCrafts.com has an array of beautiful seam binding for you to try for any of your crafting projects or home decor, or even to use on material or clothing or sewing or crocheting. You can actually weave that through. I've done it. It's beautiful. So getting back to this project here, I used my Haku gun to adhere all of the flowers. I did some dots of the stardust all around, and at the very bottom here I used the Wild Orchid Crafts metal butterfly in a copper color that has some going towards the center. It's a little bit black. I just love the way that looks. A very vintage feel. The reason why I put the butterfly way at the bottom there was if you hold this up, being that there's so much weight up at the top, this would tip, oops, sorry about that, this would tip over to one side while it's hanging. But now that I put the weighted charm at the bottom, it actually offsets the weight so that it looks nice. And this is a pretty substantial die in its size. It's a Tim Holtz Baroque die, and it can make a really nice little sign for a refrigerator. Maybe hang it from the rear view mirror in your car. It's about 5 inches in the height, and in the width probably about 3 3/4 in the width. I have made in the past, unfortunately did not video it because I don't video every single item that I make, whether it's a gift or for myself or whatever. You can actually take these and make signs with them, hang them 2, 3, 4 in a row. You can also turn them this way and do the same thing that a lot of people do. But this was kind of a tag effect looking one, and I did not want to use your standard size shipping tag. I wanted to have a different shape on this, so I hope that you like it. Like I said in the very beginning, I used a piece of regular corrugated cardboard, and you can see that for those of you that want to try that and don't like the way the edges look. I like it because it gives it a little bit of that worn, torn feeling, and my style is vintage. But what you can do is put a little glue there and just put some beads all the way around it. You can use some pearls or some trim, and if you don't like the back of it being the natural brown color, you can simply put through a piece of your choice of cardstock right through the die and just adhere it with some glue or your ATG gun, which I prefer to use because it's the stickiness is great on that. It just works really well. So I hope that you like this. I think it was something a little bit different for me to do. I always go into the Marie Antoinette style, and I go into the vintage browns and all, and I just felt like getting a little bit bright here today. So let's not forget, let's think of this. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. And that has such a heavy meaning, guys. Just think about it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.